Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about a new thing, which is Django session. We also discuss about database table with Django and the session flow also. So first we have to know the HTTP. So what is HTTP? HTTP is a stateless protocol. So this is not remembering the anything. Means when first time we send a request to a server and its response, and in the second time when we send the request to a server and it's take the response, it has no memory about the first time request. But we have to store the data somewhere, right? So if you think that you have to create a project and in this project you want to store many data, so many data. So how we can store? You may think that yeah, we can store via database, but no. There is a condition. We don't store the data in the database by ourselves. So how we can store this? In that point, session come to a picture. So when I sending a request to a server, then I am attaching the session ID with the HTTP. Then session will create it and the data will store in the database. Now see what happening. Open the VS Code first. And now here we can see that there is something. This is our project name which is cookie counter and this is my app which is counter app. First we have to check in the settings.py this is there this django.contrib.session and also the middleware session is here or not. If these are not, then session will not work. So we have to keep this here. This is inbuilt function. So we have to keep this here. Now you can see that there is a no database to attach with the session. So we have to create the database. To create the database, we have to write two comments here. Which are those comments? We have to write those comments. So one comment is for creating the database and the second comment is for to create the table in the database. So we will see. So first is Python manage.py make migration. This is to run. Yeah, you see the database is created, but you can see there is no table here. Now we will write Python manage.py migrate. Yeah, now we can see that there comes three tables here. We will talk about this today. The session. You can see that session key and the session data is empty here. So we have to create the session data and session key. Now came to the browser and write localhost 8000. Oh, sorry. We have to run the server first. Yes, we have to run the server first. And see, it shows the visit one. You may think that what is the visit one? We'll talk about. First came to here. See, here is something called session key, something is session data. So what are those things? Come here and we go to inspect. In the inspect, we show the application here, and in the cookies localhost 8000 you can see that there is something called session ID and something is value. This is a key of session ID. This is a key of session ID. So if you enter it again and again, you can see that this is changing. Visit is changing, but you can see here minutely that this is not changing. See? So many times I hit the enter, this is not changing. And you can see the same things. You can notice last is N7 and go to VS Code, and you can see that here is N7 means the session key of here and the session key of here means the session value is here is same, and the visit is 6. But if we open the another browser, this is the Edge, and we write localhost 8000 here, it shows the visit 1. But remember, here we can see that here is visit 6. But why this is visit 1? And you can also see that the session ID of Edge is come here. So from here we can notice, or we can see that each browser you open, it will generate a new session ID. Means when you open this browser, it will generate a new session ID, and when you open this browser, it will generate the session ID. You can also open the inspect here. Just a second. Go to application. Yeah, this is the session ID. So each browser when we open, it generates a new session ID. But here is the thing. Now, in between two browsers, there is no connection. It means when we generate the browser in Chrome and update the visits, it will update it. But when it is updated in 6. But when we open the Edge here, then it will show the visit 1 because we came here for first time. That's why the browser has no link, and you can see that this session key is Chrome and this session key is for Edge because it's matching with this. This is H8, and you can see here this is H8. So we can detect that which browser it's this by the key here. And one more thing, here is, you can see that there is visit 1. If you close the tab, I will close the tab here. The last visit was 6. Now enter, this is 7. So what did we see? That if we create a session ID here in a browser, and if we close the tab after, again you can close the PC also or your laptop also. Then after get into the laptop, after some time, you can see the visit was increasing from the last time. That's how the session ID is what, and data keep save here. We also delete the data from here. Not from here. We can't delete the data from the database in the VS Code. We can delete the data from the browser. Okay. Let's open. Yeah. We can delete the data from here also. And if you run this, yeah, this is show the visit 1. So our data is deleted. And see, here is CD. And if we update this, the CD will came here. This is the oldest one. We deleted here. Deleted. But we can't delete this from here. I will see you that when we can delete this. But the new thing is come here. Now came to the session data. That what those three things here. There is three things. You can see. Yeah. There is three things. So what did this? This is a session key, which is this, and this is a session data. In the session data, there are three things, which is the first thing is payload, and second thing is timestamp. This thing, and the third thing is the signature. When we hit the enter in the browser, this session data will change in every time. But these things you can't see in the server. You only can see here in the VS Code, means in the backend part. You can see here only. So, when the visit 1 and visit 2 is increasing, that visit is stored in the payload portion, means in the first part. And second is timestamp and third is signature. I think this is clear. Now we will show that how we can delete these things from here. We can't delete these things from here. That's why we have to go in the DB. Sorry. Yeah. We will double click here and click the browse data and the Django session ID. You have to click here only. If we click here, then delete portion is not come. You have to click here and right click, just a second, and delete record. Right click and delete record. Okay, I will keep this, and you have to click write changes. If we don't have to click write changes, don't do the write changes, then it will not save. So in this database, we can delete the data from here. Now came to VS Code and reload this table. See, here is only one, which we kept, and this is the Chrome data. This is the Chrome data. See, this session ID is matched. So we can easily recognize which data is here. Means which data we can see very easily with the session ID or the session, you can see the session key. So this is how the total things is going on. And now came to the main part, where the main things will happening and main things is going on in the views.py of the app. By here the main thing is going on, the whole things is going on. So here we can see that there is something called count and something called gate. So here is, you know about this. So here is from Django.contrib session.models, we import the session here and we write a function here and pass the request, because we have to send the request to the server. That's why. And now came to here. We have a very well called count, and the session, by this session will get on, and here is a new function which is gate. In this gate, we passes something which is count and 0. So here the two scenarios is come here, which is the first time, in very first time, when the visitor show and get the visit 1, there is no count here because we go to the first. So here the control goes to here, a count in the get method, and it shows that there is nothing. Then it will pass the data in the 0, and so it will take the 0 the data, and in this portion it is updating by plus equal to 1, means 0 plus 1 equal to 1. So this is updating. Now the session will count the data and return the response to the server. This is the main things where it generates the total things of this. I think this is clear that how we can get the visit one and what is session ID and session value also. Now we will see again the flow of the server. Means how we can generate this, the flow of the server. Okay, let's talk about one by one. Let's stop the server and clear the screen. Okay, run the server again. Yeah. So first we have to run the server and the server is live here, and then we will go to browser and here we will write that localhost 8000. So first when we write here the okay, let's delete this first. First when we write the localhost 8000, there is no such data. This is the primary, this is the previous one. There is no such data in this at this point. So it will check that is there, after writing the localhost 8000 and hit the enter, it will check first that is there any session ID or not. So if not, then it will go to the URLs and generate it automatically. Okay, let's, yeah. So it will go to the URLs and generate it automatically in this URLs, and it can generate this automatically. Now the session ID is created here. Now the session ID is created here. Yeah. But you remember before this we have to write those two comments, which is migration and migrate. Yeah. So if you don't write the migration, I write it previously, that's why it just came. If we don't write the migration or migrate first, then the DB is not came. So first we have to check that is there is settings, but pi is there is the session. First we have to check, and then we have to write those two comments, which is migration and migrate, and then we go to the browser and hit the localhost 8000, and it will check that if there is any session ID or not. If yes, then it will increase the visits, and if not, then it is create the session ID automatically. I think this is clear. At this point, this is clear, I think. Now, came to here. Yeah. The session key retrieve the data and took the data from here at this point. After generating the session ID, this session key retrieved the data and took the data from here, from the table, and decode the data. How it can decode? It's decode in three ways. Like first is payload, second is timestamp, and third is signature. So in the payload version, it stored the count, which we can see the views.py in the app. It's stored the count in the payload portion. And from, okay, let's open this also. Yeah. It stored the count here and see that if there is something, or visit 1 or visit 2 or visit 3, if there is nothing, then it goes to 0 and count is plus equal to 1 means 1, and if there is 1, then it will increasing 2, 3, 4, 5. Many times you enter the browser or hit the browser here, it will increasing, but this count will store in the payload version. And now after storing this count here, it will updating, storing this count here, or means in the get method, it will updating here that plus equal to, it will update these things and update the value. Here we can encode it here. Here we can encode it here to update the value. In the table is timestamp. The table timestamp and signature will also update it. Means every time when we generate the new key, in every time the data will increasing and the table timestamp and the signature will also increasing. Means the total things of data is increasing and the table is also increasing and also updating. Now the browser receive the text or something, receive the data from here and display the data here. That here is visit 1 or visit 2 or visit 3. Many times you hit the enter and it's show the things here. You can visualize this also. I'll show. Yeah, this is the thing. This is how the workflow is going on, or the session data flow is going on here. That the localhost 8000 and these things. You can write down this also. I think the session is clear to you. Thank you so much for today. In the next day, we will talk about another thing.